Welcome back, everybody. In this module, Adel and I will talk about understanding your enemy. And so we will talk about what is happening between the hackers and what is really the main goal of those enemies out there. One thing you need to keep in mind is there is no way to stop a hacker. You can only make their job harder. I think, Adel, you could not agree more on that, right?
Nothing to say, just...
Nothing to say?
I'm so... All right, I don't want to make big jokes. Come on. Let's do some hands-on stuff.
Exactly. Show us how do we get tricked, Adel.
Okay, you want to show the demo slide, which you take 10 minutes to prepare? Just the slide deck for 1 second. Here we go, you know. Special thanks for Milad, thank you. I can get back the camera.
Yeah, I wrote how do we get tricked.
You know, to be honest, we done most of the content together.
Yeah.
But all these visual improvements was his work. Thank you very much, Milad, for this great work. Seriously. Okay.
Just feel free every time you present, send it over to me. It will go for sure in my spam folder, but
that's exactly how you trick people. Did you notice? I make some compliments to him, and he was straight away happy. Then he noticed, he went to the spam folder. So, remember my example this morning? I said, if I give you free virus, will you take it? No. So, let's switch to my screen, and let's see what we can do. So, what I have here? I have a tool which is called, what is it called? One file maker. Okay, so what is this one file maker? Let's double click on it, run it. This will install ZenSpy 1 exe maker 2.0. Do you wish to continue? Why not? Yes. Let's install it quickly. I'm not gonna read the terms and conditions. I do agree with all of them. Let me just get my little one file maker. Here's my file maker. All right, so I also got a beautiful game here. Let me show you the game. It's called Tetris. Who did not play Tetris? We all did, right?
Of course.
I think it's one of the most favorite games. Let me double click on it. Start. Can we make a 5 minutes break? I'm gonna play the game here.
Yeah, just finish. Left.
Okay. This is the game. So if you notice, the game is 200 kilobyte. No. This is the game. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a file. For adding a file, by the way, let me just show you one more thing. Windows Explorer. I got it from my CH class, which I teach always. I go to Trojans and backdoors. I go to what would like to have today? Trojan. Yeah. Let's get remote access Trojan.
Or remote. Oh yeah.
Or yeah, remote access Trojan.
Let's go.
Okay. I get the T virus here. Or no, probably something smaller. ProRat. ProRat.exe. I'm not gonna affect this computer. So how big is it? It's around 2.8 megabyte. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my virus, okay, which is on E drive, Z drive, which is under my, I changed my, sorry, that's not this one. Trojans, backdoors. I go to my little Trojan. Where was my Trojan? I just get any virus, This Trojan, client.exe. How big is it? It's around 307 kilobyte. Client.exe. It's here. Now, this is the virus which I usually give it to you, okay? I get my game. I add it here.
What do you mean you give it to me? I thought you give me free tools to help.
Yeah, you're going to get it very shortly, my friend. Very shortly. Games, Tetris. And remember, look, this is 200 kilobyte. Now, this is 2 files. I want to save it as one. Save. And I'm going to save it into desktop as MVA welcome. Save. Let's go to my desktop. Look at this. mvwelcome.com. Not .com, sorry. Look at the size. It's 512. Remember my game? How big was my game? My game was originally, scroll up, 200 kilobyte. How big is, by the way, look at the security practice, username, password. Remember, do what I say, don't do what I do. You can just read my password from the screen. What happened? Back to here. No, not this one. I lost my demo. No,
What's your demo?
Nah, just joking.
I don't think
I just mixed. I lost my. I had too many remote desktop sessions. So, all right, I'm asking the 8 layer attendees, who's keen to get this file? Just joking. Okay. If you don't believe me, this is a virus. I can just get this file, upload it to virustotal.com. Virustotal.com. Just upload it, and it will do a live analysis for you, and it will tell you what kind of virus it has inbuilt. And this is a beautiful way to test your antivirus as well. So this is exactly how hackers trick you.
Yeah.
You know, I teach my daughter not to speak to strangers. I teach my daughter not to accept any gifts from strangers.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they might kidnap her, touch wood, you know. But this is exactly how you get hacked, tricked. You don't want to pay $30 for that software. You get it free from the internet. You get it as a one package. I'm going to show you later how you get infected, but Milad has first couple of important points to repeat so we understand the importance.
Yeah,
my friend.
Actually, just one note there. One of the scenarios I experienced is there was one of those fake companies, let's say in Russia, where everybody thought they are building an antivirus solution, and even they had technical support. So they had a support center with support engineers, and they all thought they're receiving phone calls from people who bought the software, who need advice on how to use their antivirus solution. Well, guess what? That was not an antivirus solution. It was preventing. It looked like antivirus, but at the very end, it was a virus itself, right? So it was a keylogger. It stored all this information, sent over the latest banking credentials, and so on. So there's a lot of things going on in cybercrime, in malware. So you need to be aware of it, right? And I think one of the best quotes on that, Erdal, I think, and you have the best expression on that, is from Sun Tzu, right? From The Art of War, Erdal. Right?
Yes. What does the Art of War say? If you know the enemy and you know yourself, you need not to fear the result of hundreds of battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. This is, seriously, I have a couple of quotes which I tattoo to my ear. That's how we say back in our country, okay? Tattoo or earring in my ear. As you can see, I have just a speaker, but it's invisible. So it's really important to understand how the enemy thinks. Yep. And in this session, our aim is to help you to understand the enemy a bit better. So how can we do that while knowing yourself? Milad?
Exactly. So if you look into knowing yourself, it's all about really assessing your own skills, and do not assume that you know everything. This is technically impossible. I mean, seriously, I work for Microsoft. I'm a premier field engineer, but I would never ever tell to my customer, say, yeah, hey, I see in every scenario. No problem. I see that. Just do that and this. No, I will really need to assess and identify if the scenario the customer is showing me there is something which where I can help them with my skills. So it's really important to understand the accuracy of your own skills. You need to be able to see, okay, is my environment documented? I mean, I know it sounds very boring for IT professionals when I start talking about how important it is to document their Active Directory, how important it is to document their infrastructure in total. But it is important as soon as you get attacked, because you need to know immediately which IP addresses are relevant, which servers I need to secure, which servers I need to shut down maybe in order to prevent further access for the hackers. So it is super important to have documentation around the infrastructure in general, because if you don't have it and something goes wrong, for sure it will happen to you and say, oh gosh, I should have known this was a particular IP address which goes to that server. Because one of the scenarios, what could happen there is, I mean, imagine you don't have a documentation because you say, you just say, oh, you know what? I am in the office, so if something happens, I know it for sure, right? But guess what happens when you're out of office, right? What happens if you're out of office? You fall asleep. I mean, come on, you're sleeping and you forget to charge your phone. The organization which you're supporting is under attack. What will happen then if nobody knows the IP address, nobody knows where the server location is, nobody knows the operating system information?
Can I be honest?
Tell me.
It happened to me once.
There you go.
Out of concept. I was in that company. I started as not premier field engineer. I was just the IT guy who does everything. Okay. One day I was promoted to be the team leader. Very, very quick. And in a very short time, I was the IT manager. Mm-hmm. The team changed, my rules came into place. But before I became the IT manager, I had to go to Hawaii with my wife. We went from Australia to Hawaii for a holiday. Back then, I didn't have roaming on my phone because it was my personal phone. And 1 week, the company could not reach me out. Yeah. Something happened. Based on the previous IT managers, that's how I get the manager role, to be honest, and promise I didn't plan an attack. He did not have proper documentation. He had 1 more week to hand over. Last week I went to holiday before I get my new role, and he decided to get doctor certificate, not come that week to work.
Oh, sick leave.
Sick leave. But the company needed the password. They could not reach me out.
Yeah.
I was still the IT guy, not the IT manager.
Yeah.
And that guy was refusing to talk because he was sick. Mm-hmm. They were in dark for a couple of days.
Wow.
They were and this is real. First thing which I done is write proper documentation.
Yeah.
To be honest, yes, I gave the owner of the company the password in a sealed envelope. I said, yes, you might be the owner. If I carry the responsibility, sorry, you can't know the admin password. And I will only help you to protect you if you not unseal this password. And it was put in the safe, which is fireproof. So if I'm not there, feel free to open it. And the password is password. No, just joking. So you just reminded me something here. But did we lose internet here? During my class, my hacking classes, I had a PFE like you from Microsoft in Canberra, Australian capital.
Yeah.
I was teaching some sort of engine hacking, search engine hacking.
Yeah.
And we were doing some search on passport. For some reason, internet, I'm going to look into it. So if you go to my blog and search Australian passports, that student found, a link, Australian passport link in the internet. Which company web, organization, a government organization, which was checking the IDs, was scanning the computers.
Yeah.
The IT manager done a small mistake, really small mistake, and upload all the files to their search engines appliance. Back then it used to be Popular, one of the search engines.
Yeah.
And everything was up on the internet. I mean, if you still go and know how to search it in your favorite search engine or any search engine, you can find people's secret information. What we done? We stopped the class. I had also a police from Australian Federal Police there. I had a couple of people from Army. It was 8 people class. We stopped the class. We reached the company. We make sure that everything was, removed. Then I reached the guys one by one as much as I can. So sometimes it's not your fault, but it can be stolen. So you just remind me that. Sorry, out of context, I wanted to say. Milad?
No, it's a very valuable story. And basically it also covers the idea of having the support from the organization, right, in what you're doing, because that's very important. Like what we see typically also when we look into customers and talking with the IT team, they say we don't have the real support from our BDMs, from our CTO level when we want to push new security capabilities into our network or into our environment in general. So those are great stories you can share with your BDMs when talking about we need to have that extra budget in order to protect our network, because what our CTO or our board doesn't want to have is that the next day when they go on a particular newspaper or on a blog, that they see, oh, our website just got hacked, right? They don't want to go on their company website and see, oh, wait a minute, this is not our logo, but this looks like the independent logo of a hacker group, right? So we don't want that this happens. So you need to have the right skill set, the documentation, as well as the support from the organization in general. And then you are really ready around this topic. And one of the great tools I want to share with you around that topic is Security Compliance Manager. But before that, Erdal, I think you're burning to tell me something.
Yes. Can we move to the screen first? I just went to Bing and I done a quick search. Look at this, guys. Yes, they are now highlighted, but if you look more carefully, you can find this secret information there.
Which you could even use then afterwards for identification.
It can be you. So please take the necessary step and look into it. SCM.
All right, cool. So let's move over to my machine for a second here. Let me just quickly log on. So the Security Compliance Manager, how often I refer to it, is every time we ship a new operating system or a new infrastructure service like SQL, people tend to ask us, okay, what is the Microsoft best practice around a particular configuration, right? And what is it specifically, what is interesting for us as an enterprise? So rather than us publishing every day new TechNet articles, because we are, bringing in lots of new products, we thought, okay, let's have a tool ready which our customers can use in order to not only compare their current group policies versus our recommendations, but also really see the best practice in general for each individual product. So if you look into this tool here, you will be able to see, okay, on the left side we see certain baselines, so for Exchange, for Internet Explorer, Office, as well as for Windows and SQL. If you go into one of those, you will be able to see specific sets of policies. Right? Let me just pull it over here. So let's go, for example, to Windows 8 Computer Security Compliance. And now you will see it is loading 250 unique settings available. As one of those examples could be, let's say, here. Let's use this one as an example. Enable RPC Endpoint Mapper Client. Now, this column, the default column, means that this is the configuration we do when we ship Windows, when you're installing Windows the first time on your computer. So remember that when we are releasing a new operating system or when we are updating the operating system, we need to make sure that the majority of users worldwide are using the best practices and that is really tailored to a broader audience rather than just a focus to a specific industry or a specific sector. So what can happen here, and this is a great example, that we configure, or in this case not configure, a particular setting as default configuration for Windows, but our enterprise recommendation could be something else. And this is what you see on the screen here, that for Enable RPC Endpoint Mapper Client, for example, and it's just one of our examples, no specific reason for this part, is that it's not configured. Our enterprise recommendation is to disable it. And now comes the good part as well here. If you import your group policies, you will be able to compare the default behavior of Windows, Microsoft Enterprise recommendation, and your current configuration. Next to it, you see the severity level, how Microsoft measures the importance of this configuration. So you see that for example, this setting, Microsoft Network Client, is considered as a critical severity and it is disabled by default. Our Microsoft recommendation remains the same for enterprise, which is disabled, and if I would import it, I would import my configuration. Well, since this is my domain joined machine, it will show disabled as well. But again, like I said, you can compare it with your own as well. And now what's also good is you can write comments, for example, and work on it later. So imagine you're in a process of hardening your system. All you have to do is go step by step through those policies, write comments, go back, go forward, and work on them in step by step to identify the needs required depending on your IT security strategy. The question, which for sure came on chat already, is where do you get this tool, right? Simple. Let's go on our Bing engine. Let's just type in Microsoft Security Compliance Manager.
How much is it?
It's for free, Errol.
Really?
So probably even you will like it. It's free. Free tool for consumer and commercial use.
Okay.
All right. So the first link is referring to TechNet directly. So it's a TechNet library article, and here it says download Microsoft Security Compliance Manager in version 3, which is the latest version. You just hit on it, and it will start the download. It's around 130 megabytes. And also very good is that it will inform you every time there are new updates available within the tool. Once you install the tool, you will see this user interface when you started it. On the right side, you have the option to import your group policies. If you exported before from your Active Directory, you can import an SCM cap. And later, you can even export those findings, right? You can even export the configuration you have made. Imagine that you want to run a test environment where you follow all the enterprise recommendations for group policies, right? For security group policies. Hey, just export the information, this configuration set, and import it into your testing environment through Active Directory. And then you have this environment ready with the group policies following the best practices for Microsoft security teams. Now, that's not all with the tool. You can import, you can export, and how about you could also compare, Errol? You can compare your group policies versus our baselines we have available. So this is another factor we have available with Security Compliance Manager. And really, I highly encourage everyone to download the tool and actively use it. I mean, me coming from the Windows security side, like from as a PFE, I don't know how many times when I visit my customers, I'm using just this tool set and work with the customers with each of those configurations and really talk with them and say, okay, this is the configuration you need to do, or this is our recommendation. And then we have this discussion with the IT professionals, with the BDMs, and say, okay, depending on our IT security strategy, does it make sense to follow Microsoft best practice? Because again, this is when we say best practice, we don't say you have to use it, right? Microsoft tell you, hey, you need to use this setting. No, what we are telling you is, what we are telling you is, based on the majority of users we are seeing, or enterprise in that context, our recommendation will be X, Y, and Z. Now, if you're telling us your IT security strategy or your business requirement doesn't meet with that, fair enough. But at least we drive awareness around the best practice, and then it's your decision to say, I will go with Microsoft best practice, or because of this specific requirements we have in our environment, within our team, we will go this way. But what is important is that you have the knowledge, that you have the tools required, like Security Compliance Manager, you got the support from the leadership team, and then you really can foster and build this hardening concept with Security Compliance Manager.
Okay, you hear the Microsoft side of the story. Now, when I go to my customers, to be honest, I sometimes say, use this tool. Don't ask too much question. Depends on the relationship, of course.
Yeah.
I say, please. Or usually I do run it, or I encourage them to run it. And I'm not saying this to look nice to Milad because this is my sponsor today for Buy Me Dinner. I'm saying this as a security expert. Look, probably I just noticed there is some attack at the moment to my blog. Thank you very much. Feel free. You might hack it. So it's normal, okay? What I'm trying to say is here, if you think I'm unhackable, no. So we're going to talk about it right now. So we have to identify the attacker. Seriously, I just received an SMS to my Australian phone number. At the moment, my blog has high volume attack. You are more than welcome. If you hack it, it's going to be up as soon as I got time. So
is there any award recognition if that's your blog? At all?
Not
any
really.
load balancer for free?
But I would highly recommend you to not to leave any trace. That's what I can say. Okay. So
Sorry about that. I'll stop doing
The camera crew is saying at the back they stopped doing it. I'm going to have a small surprise for him end of the day if you watch it. Okay, this is still in my hand. Identifying your attacker. First of all, I don't know if you noticed, when I went to Milad,
Yeah.
seriously, I met Milad just last year at TechEd. True strangers, and believe it or not, this is our first
Presentation together,
presentation,
right?
show, I don't know what you want to call it.
Entertainment.
That's what I'm trying to do. I mean, I'm not the greatest speaker. You notice my accent, but I try to give what you want. And I can tell you this, the first thing starts with trust.
Yeah.
As soon as you trust me, and trust me, I'm on your side. As soon as you trust that bad guy, he is gonna try to get more information from you.
Quick question. So, how do we know? Like, I mean, I'm very sure that the bad guy also say, "Trust me, I'm the good guy."
That's why. Look, a good example. A good question. So, who should you trust?
Yeah.
Look, I'm married. I love my wife, but I
know that.
aim to get married with her till end of my life. She's still sleeping. She's gonna join soon in Australia. Okay, she's not hopefully watch this recording. But sometimes, some secret agency, they're not allowed to tell even their own wives they are working to the secret agency. Why? Everything in good days is good. What is as soon as they get divorced? Please think about your friend who was divorced. Your friends, you want to say something, Milad?
Yeah, I mean, I had a similar story actually. Let's be absolutely honest with that. So basically, what happened is I forgot my Windows phone at a friend's car, and what happened is that I was running some test bits on it, so my phone was lost. Even though I knew where it is, but of course I was not really allowed to talk with my friend about what was on the phone. So what I did is I went to windowsphone.com, I wiped my phone remotely, and then I received a phone call on my landline saying, "Hey, something happened with your phone. Like it's now this new this out-of-the-box experience coming up. What happened?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like maybe it's some issues with the phone, but don't worry. Just bring it to work tomorrow morning. So it should be fine." But I think that's the direction you're talking about, right? It's a matter of how much can we trust a person, even though we may know him, and what will happen, what could happen, what is the risk, right? So remember we talked about probability and the consequences, which equals to risk. And this is just a great example, right?
Check the news. Very recent. Someone which has, some weather activities in his last name, was escaped from United States of America for disclosure NDA information. What was NDA again?
Non-disclosure agreement?
Yeah. So basically, this guy, look, good or bad, this is up to you. This guy told what that security agency doing. So, look, I don't mind what he said. To be honest, I'm extremely happy on what he did. Okay, that's my personal view, nothing to do with Microsoft. But the key thing is here. Now, if that company is not a company, if that organization hires me, I would first thing said, look, I got physical access to your resources, but is your human protected? Again, with that guy, Microsoft PFE, I said, guys, let's do a social engineering attack. If you ask me, I will not give you my mobile number, but how many times you call the reception, you ask for someone, you get their mobile number? And that guy was really smart. That's why probably he's a PFE. He called the reception in the break from the balcony. Said, I need urgent to speak to Mr. Skaya. I'm his friend. I know he's in class. I have to text him. Please give me his mobile number. She gave it to him. I told her 1 million times not to give it. Mm-hmm. So it was a physical access. If you think this is just on mobile phones, you'll be surprised how many times the door rang at I used to have a Microsoft Partner Learning Center. The door rang and they're trying to sell something, give something, scanning identification. So human resources, you can't put a firewall in your brain. You can't put proxy in the mouth. That's why. It's like teaching the kids. It's really important also. Be aware of hackers. Remember I was talking about white hat hackers, black hat hackers, grey hat hackers. Yeah. Some hackers are just beginners, like some of you. at the moment attacking my blog.
Yes, actually, like I see a couple of people in the chat like really proud of it.
Yeah.
Because they say, "Oh, we cannot access anyone. Someone hacked the
Yeah,
website."
I say do what I say, don't do what I do, and you know that there's going to be always a callback on this. Please watch the upcoming sessions. There are some intermediate hackers and there are some advanced hackers.
Yeah.
You can hire hackers, as you can hire. You know, it's sad to say it, we read it in the news. Serial killers, people hire someone to kill someone else.
Yeah.
It's a business where you can hire hackers to hack Facebook. Not Facebook account. Do you think they go to Facebook data center and they try to hack it? Why? While I got the chance to hack Mr. George Gill, you know, making the name up.
You just made that up, didn't you?
George Gill, instead of why should I try Mark Zuckerberg? If you think Mark Zuckerberg can't be hacked, you'll be surprised. A Palestinian researcher was able to post in Mark Zuckerberg's
Oh yeah,
wall.
I remember that one.
Yeah, it was on my session at TechEd as well, right? So what I'm trying to say is, why do we get attacked? That's the question. It's not always your money. It's not always revenge or espionage. Could be a challenge, like my blog. Trust me, it's not a challenge. It's a freeware
Probably one
software.
DDoS attack.
Yeah. Financial gain, acceptance, ego.
Ego is a big one. I mean, I see particularly in IT, right? I don't know why, but I feel like the ego. I mean, how many times you've been working on a support case or you've been consulting around that, and it was like the passion you had, like, no, I need to solve this support case, while you could just ask your colleague who was sitting next to you, who knew this stuff, right? So it's the ego, right? No, I know this stuff. I know everything around IT. Trust me, it doesn't matter how long time I will spend, I will solve it. So there's
Socrates,
a big ego part.
You just remind me of something. Socrates, he used to live in all Greek ages.
Yes.
Before Jesus Christ. He used to say, the thing which I know that I don't know. So he knows that he doesn't know. So there is always something to learn. And it's really important to look on what you can learn. Yes, you might be able to hack my blog, my website, my operating system. But if I restore it with the same credential as you were speaking before, if I use the same thing, as we say in German, einmal ist kein Mal, right? So one time is, if someone does a mistake, counted as not happen, you know, sorry. Zweimal ist ein Mal, which 2 times counted as 1 mistake. You know, we are human.
Yeah.
If someone does the same mistake 3 times, and you, dreimal ist 1000-mal. If you do it 3 times, it's counted as 1000 times because it's not a mistake anymore. It's a habit.
On purpose.
And I think the next slide is going to show. Milad, do you want to talk about it or me?
I leave that one to you. I think you
Okay.
have a lot of passion on the industry-wide vulnerabilities, right? I mean, that's what you keep talking about.
Yes. Look, it's easy to say vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Please have a look here.
But let's prove it.
Biosecurity. This is very recent report, which was published 2 days ago by Microsoft Sir.
Correct.
Look at the
Just to
application.
add on that, Erdal, what does SIR stand for? For the people who don't
I asked,
know? Exactly, I got you on this time.
Security intelligence reports, which you're going to see in the next slide. I'm going to talk about it. Look at this. Operating system application hack is less than 600. Co-operating system hack is less 200. Web browsers. But other applications are the main attack vectors. Java, Flash, ActiveX. Let's talk about Microsoft. You know, let's be honest. All these kind of attacks cause people to suffer.
Yes, actually, when I joined Microsoft, one of the recommendations was do not install Java. And remember, actually, when we were building the labs, one of the tools required was saying, hey, you need to have in Java. And I was like, Erdal, I mean, there's no way I will install Java on my machine.
I did.
Yes, you did. So,
Okay,
perfect. So I have some vulnerabilities.
I did. And while I was doing a test case show, I was going to show it. Then I thought, you know, the company might get angry. I had straight away a fake Java update and a voice command. You have a new Java update. Please update the system. The URL is still active, but I don't want you to click with mistake on it. So it was pushing malware straight into my system. And look into these countries. I was just speaking to my admin. I think we had many people from Europe live. And as you can see, Germany, Turkey, Middle East, Europe,
There's always a
China,
discussion on that
United
one.
Kingdom, United States, the virus list. So it's not always rich countries versus poor countries.
Yeah,
It's severity.
correct.
It's how innocent you are.
Correct.
So you asked me what SIR is. SIR, can you please answer me what SIR is?
Of course. So, SIR is from the Security Intelligence Report our Trustworthy Computing team is publishing. TWCK, well, the organization basically came out of the idea from Bill Gates when he sent out, I think it was back in 2002, the memo to our employees where he said, we need to put security as a primary focus and we need to make it a top priority for us. So that's why we have the Trustworthy Computing team who really make sure that we are aware of the security trends coming in. They're evaluating what's happened next and what are the recommendations from TWC perspective on Windows. Like what is the investment area Windows should do when they're talking about the re-next of Windows? What are the security features they need to put in place in order to prevent the next big attack, right? So that's TWC. And if you look specifically to the Security Intelligence Report, the SIR, which is now, we just recently published version 16 of it.
Just 2 days ago.
Exactly, just 2 days ago. And in fact, let's be honest with the audience. I mean, we had the SIR version 15 in the report, in our presentation.
We had a meeting last Friday.
Yeah.
You know, we flew on Sunday, I think.
Yeah.
We had a meeting, our link.
Yeah.
Was a Skype link, doesn't matter about that for Microsoft. We had a meeting, we talked about SIR. You know, I said, look, I read all this report, let's talk about this. I had some screenshot. I said, haha, I got the PDF.
I got some Word
PowerPoints.
documents on it.
Here we go. Then yesterday, we had a meeting with our
One of our colleagues from
Chris, what is his
Chris
position
Hallam,
again?
he's a senior product marketing manager in Windows.
In Windows Security. He
Yes.
said, SIR has been published. I just was there 2 days ago. I said, published yesterday. And here we go. We updated our slides here yesterday around 3 a.m.
Exactly.
But here it is. So please do yourself a favor. Go and read this.
Yeah, go on
It's-
Microsoft.
It's not talking about buy Windows, get Microsoft, or Microsoft is ultra secure. Apple or Google is not. I'm very open here. It's talking about the trend of security. And one of the key contributors is Mark Rasnovich, which is my hero. He is also contributing. I don't know if he did in this one, but you have lots to learn if you're interested in security. Remember, I was talking about staying ahead of hackers because hackers have more time than us. What I'm trying to say is they concentrate at the moment just to block my hack my blog, for example. Okay, no problem. My next presentation is going to be what I learned from the attack
Lessons
to my
learned
blog.
from my attack.
Yeah, lessons learned from the field. Thank you very much. If you can destroy it, destroy it. I don't mind. But back to the topic. So forget Microsoft side. It's a good report. So if you want to protect the systems, you should go to some websites and read the news on security.
Correct.
Learn what is out there. If you don't know, if you don't read the news, forget about IT security. If you know, let's say you live in Maryland area, in Washington, D.C., and the news is talking about a serial killer which comes day or night around your house. If you don't read the news and get one day shot because you didn't read the news, it's your fault. But if you read the news, you'll be aware. Maybe you'll work with your neighbors, police, to get this guy caught or catched, Milad?
Exactly. So that's why it's so important to always check out the SIR reports, check out the news. And one of the things also...
Do you mind if I show a couple of websites which I think we had a question. I want to show a couple of websites here.
I do. What now?
Okay, sorry. Not now. While he's talking, I'm going to prepare the website.
No, please, go ahead.
Okay, forget about it's now purchased by a company. Kaspersky, securelist.com. It's one of my favorite. Why? You can come read their report and you can see what kind of viruses are popular at the moment. Okay? Also, virus bulletin, if I can spell it right, but I know Bing will. They got a paid one. costs. You don't have to buy the paid one. Go to the free one. It's a really good resource for you to learn. What else? I think I should stop. I don't know what times of ads gonna come here, and time is that. Let's finish. What I can do is, as soon as we finish this, I'm gonna put some stuff up in the cloud where you can connect and read it.
Well, not on your blog anymore, right?
It's gonna be up. Don't worry.
Okay, so basically, if you look into staying ahead of exploits, and recommendation from Microsoft or from TWC specifically is, well, to be all honest, if I look into them, most of them are really best practice for IT security. Stay current on your security updates, right? Make sure that you have the latest updates on your machine. And at the same time, you need to make sure that you have the latest versions of the applications as well, right? Because one point is protecting the operating system and having the latest security updates. The other point is having also the latest version of the applications you're running. Because guess what? Besides potential OS vulnerabilities, we have also application vulnerabilities. So we need to make sure that the OS, that the application layer is also secure. And then, of course, we have a toolkit out there called EMAT, Enhanced Mitigation Experience Toolkit, which you can also leverage in order to further secure your environment. And I think you have a session on that.
Yes,
right?
I got a session. By the way, my blog is back up. Basic DOS attack. Thank you very much.
I told you, DDoS, for sure.
It's very easy. Seriously, we can talk about this later.
Yeah.
Feel free to scanning, but don't leave any footprint. We're going to talk about that. So if you watch next week, keep an eye on the blog or Channel 9 website. We have lots of cool stuff coming up there as well. So we're going to talk about this more. So Milad, I think you have to ask me a question here now. Based on our plan?
What plan, man? What plan? You're all like every module is like now it's out of the concept. Out of the concept. I have a demo, but I didn't discuss it. So what's plan? Okay,
we are here. Hey, have fun. Share our knowledge, and as long as you enjoy it.
That's the ultimate goal, right? If you guys are enjoying it, we're super happy.
Yeah.
The other guy, yeah. Okay, Ardal, according to the plan, I was supposed to ask you, defending network is difficult, but why?
Oh, that's a really good question,
and nobody asked you before, right?
Defending network is difficult, but why? First of all, hey, look, I'm here speaking while you have the time to launch a DOS attack into my blog. So you have unlimited resources.
Yeah.
You can create a virus, and there are many DOS attack tools. You can create a virus, share it in the internet. Look, to be able to launch I always give this example. My daughter or my son, 7 years old, 11 years old, I'm going to give her a knife. Okay? She's going to come. Hey, you. She doesn't know you. You don't know my daughter. Give me your wallet. Seriously, what will you do if a little kid has a knife in her hand? Give me your wallet.
I will give her a lollipop and say, "Oh, you're so cute."
Probably you will not take it serious, right?
No, not really.
All right. Milad, now I know what happened here. I'm going to get 500 kids with a knife asking you to give your wallet. Seriously. What
that happened in kindergarten once.
I did not discuss this with Milad before. What will you do? Seriously.
500 kids?
500 kids with a knife. 10...
with a knife?
Knife. They all have knife.
Is it plastic or real?
Milad, serious now.
Serious. Okay, so I probably will give my wallet.
Or run fast.
No, I will just give my wallet because anyway, I don't have any cash in my wallet, so I use credit cards. I don't assume just they don't know how to use credit cards.
All right, let's take this example. This is exactly how DOS attacks happens, okay? So to be able to launch a secure DOS attack, you have to get zombies. Oh no, I look disgusting like this, hold on.
Not even.
Yeah, to have a DOS attack, okay, you have to create zombies. Remember how I did create the virus? Very soon, we're going to have a demo how I can steal your information. I'm gonna be your master. I don't know if you read the backtrack. Remember, there was a little tiny writing there. The more you listen, the more you hear. So, well, attackers master one attack. You, as defender, cannot take it offenses. Like, seriously, what if I now stand up and slap you once? Get the camera? Slap you once. What? Seriously, you were probably shocked. You know we got cameras. You can't slap me back. Even if you get angry, because you're Microsoft, you're in Redmond headquarters, you will probably take it easy. Right, Danny? What if I go and pull the black off your I'm talking to the camera guy, by the way. Probably you will get angry and not able to hit me back. Why? Because you have to obey the rules and you have to call the security. Otherwise, probably you will lose your job as well.
Probably.
So you can't attack me back legally. You have to stick into your business goals.
Yeah.
Okay? And we have no chance. We have no chance. We have to always win against the bad guys. Just think about a big e-commerce website. Auction website.
Yeah.
It goes down for 1 minute. Just for 1 minute. What will be the loss?
Couple of millions.
At least, right?
And not only that, I mean, that's the financial part, right? Look into the branding and the marketing, right? All the PR stuff they need to do, all the investments they need to do in order to put it in a nice way now in the newspapers, right? Oh no, it was server maintenance actually, right?
Okay, so it's I think me now. Defense skill. How can you defend like an IT pro? First of all, use firewall.
Correct.
Microsoft has a free one. It's inbuilt.
Built in.
But you can go by Forefront endpoint protection. No more TMG, I think.
No, we discontinued TMG.
Yeah.
Well, basically, Windows Firewall is built in, right? We recommend leave it on. And even if you use any third party, or even if you use System Center endpoint protection,
Beautiful,
you
that's
will
what I was going to say.
You will have it enabled anyway.
Sorry, if you don't want to stick to Microsoft, don't. There are many other free ones. Just, Milad is looking bad at me. You don't see it at the moment. He's shaking his hand. It's on IPS, Intrusion Prevention System.
Yeah.
Antivirus. I like my security essentials, but I use some other tools as well. Anti-malware. Have security policy. It's really, really, really important.
Yeah. And Erdal, a question now. Let's see if you took attention to what I said. What is the tool you could use to build a baseline for security policies?
Microsoft Baseline Security Analysis. No. SCM.
Very good.
Plan remote access security around. That these days we work from home.
BYOD.
I'm going to have actually Yuri has a friend of mine, senior knowledge engineer from Microsoft. Next week with Tom Schinder. He is having a session at TechEd about BYOD, whatever you call it.
Bring your own device.
Train, can we get the slide back, please? Train staff on social engineering languages. You saw how we can convince people. Then
You even convinced me doing this jumpstart with you.
Yeah. Keep system patch. Did you hear what he said? I convinced him to do this jumpstart. I think we got good numbers at the moment. People are still happy, are they? Keep system patched. Look, there is beautiful System Center. If you don't want to use it, there's many alternatives. Free ones, but System Center is doing the job in an enterprise level.
Correct. And you have also the option with WSUS, right?
Yeah, which is free. I said free version. So, if not, try to use, I talked about it, encryption. And have a DR plan, risk management plan.
Yeah.
DOS attack, yeah. I mean, how am I going to stop it? Seriously. I can look after 2 kids at the same time. If 20 kids comes and they all cry at the same time, I say, okay, here's the lolly. Please be quiet. Let me do my presentation.
So that's how it works to shut you down?
Implement forensic auditing.
Get me along.
Look, I'm not going to talk more about it. What I'm going to do is, if you go, let's see, it's down again.
Hey, your block is back.
If you go, that's
Guys,
handsome
I
guy.
encourage. Do the DDoS attack again.
Hold on. The resolution is a bit bad. I have to scroll down. I have a beautiful... All right, where is my menu? Guys, can you put my menu back?
Well, you used to have a good website, though.
Article most read. Anyway, go to search ISO documents. I have a whole section on ISO security policies where you can. I have lots of tools already where you can create security tools, and more importantly, limit and monitor the number of administrators. The more you have, the more trouble you get. All right. We had 2 demos. We talked about skills. Before we go ahead, can you please do a retake, please, again? Summary?
Sure thing. I can talk about that one. So basically what we were talking about are the key we looked into, okay, what are the attack factors, right? We identified that attackers have unlimited resources, right? They have sometimes like even they got lots of budget, right, available. They know they only need to master a specific attack rather than us who need to focus on the entire end-to-end security. And as well, we looked into security compliance manager, how to use it to build a strong baseline of group policies. We talked about the security compliance, the security report from TWC and the latest numbers, and of course the behavior of hackers in general. So how does a hacker behave? I think that's one really important point, right?
Yeah, behave like
yeah,
this.
don't worry at all.
Okay.
We know you have now the gray hat.
Next
right?
session. It's the session that you're going to enjoy most. Next session is where I'm going to demonstrate how hackers attack. What are their phases? So give us 10 minutes break. A, to prepare demos. B, to then just that's our
Exactly.
last break. After 10 minutes, we're going to be back. Then we're going to have a lunch break. Okay. So first session. So see you all in 10 minutes.
Starting
to
from now.
How hackers, 9 minutes, 59 seconds, 58, 57.
All right.